The second half hour of the Factor Uncensored. South Carolina lawmakers are going after serious punishment for women who get abortions. Now, it's through a new bill called the South Carolina Prenatal Equal Protection Act of 2023. If passed, it would protect unborn children from the state's homicide laws, which means women who get the procedure, get this, could get the death penalty or a minimum of 30 years in prison. It hasn't passed yet. We have a panel reacting to this. Joining me, social media expert Karen Diamond, businesswoman Tiara Johnson, and Destiny Stewart. Destiny, first of all, when you heard about this, what was your opinion?
These people have lost their mind.
Damn, right?
Of course. Because how do you police somebody and say, oh, you're gonna give them the death penalty because they have an abortion? That's outrageous. It's outrageous.
Tiara, your thoughts on this?
I think it's crazy too because you don't know the person's situation,
right?
What happened to them, what environment they were in. Like it might be worse for them to bring in a life into the world or something. Like it's like you might give that child a death penalty, and I don't think it's fair to dictate a woman's body or her choice and give her that hard of a punishment because we don't know her circumstances.
Karen, do you think there is anyone or any entity other than this legislator, this bill, who would support this?
Well, I think that they've said that there are people getting behind this bill, but my take on it is that this is just a distraction. This is just them trying to make noise in order for them to take us away from the real issues at hand. What our country is really facing. We all know the stance on how we feel, with the reversion of Roe versus Wade and how we feel about women's rights and women's equality. And it's Women's History Month. We all feel very, very strongly about giving women their choice. However, this particular bill is just being rushed into the Senate to make noise, to distract us from the real issues at hand that our country is facing. It is just noise in the heels of an election year. They're saying, I'm going to take a stance right now with where I feel. And this is an extremity. Like the death penalty, you can't be serious.
And Destiny, do you think anyone will go for this? Obviously, this is something that wouldn't be put up for a vote. It would be a vote to the legislators, lawmakers. But do you think there would be enough lawmakers who would say, let's kill a woman who has an abortion?
I mean, obviously so, if they've already put it out there for them to actually vote on it. But my thing is, it's not going to hit home for them. They're not really going to understand what it is until it actually hits home personally for somebody that they know, like their daughters, their grandchildren, their nieces. Then they're going to be like, okay, maybe I'm doing way too much.
And Tara, do you think this could hurt the pro-life movement, those who are against abortion? Do you think someone who's going this extreme could hurt their movement, saying, look, you guys are willing to kill women?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so, because you can't be pro-life and then pro certain types of lives or certain people's lives. Like, if you're going to be pro-life, it needs to be pro-life for everybody. So it's kind of like they're contradicting themselves. So for this, it definitely will affect them. But at the same time, it's like, that's too extreme of a punishment for somebody that, like I was saying earlier, don't know them circumstances, aside of like what Karen was saying about the election, everything going on. Like, it's just, it doesn't make sense. You can't be pro-life and then say, I'm going to give you the death penalty because you want to get an abortion. That's not fair.
And Karen, do you think this would hurt their movement? I mean, you're talking about pro-life, but you said, they're saying, this lawmaker, this legislature is saying, if you harm a child with abortion, we will kill you.
Yeah, it could very well, it could very, very well hurt the person that's trying to pass the law. I don't think that they have a viable, substantial case here. But again, this is them just trying to create noise and create diversion and take us back to where we were the last election year, where we were complete polar opposites. Now we've just dealt with the Roe versus Wade issue. Now you want to put this extreme bill in front of us, and to be honest with you, we got to solve other problems right now. There are bigger problems at hand that the country is facing. People literally are about to not even be able to cash their checks at the bank. And we're worried about abortion.
Right.
First at 6 this Monday, a bill in Columbia could make the death penalty a possible punishment for women in South Carolina who get an abortion.
News 13's Claire Purnell is live in our newsroom with what the bill changes and also reaction tonight from Planned Parenthood. Claire?
Bob and Megan, if this bill is passed, the new bill would make getting an abortion equivalent to committing homicide. House Bill 3549, or the South Carolina Prenatal Equal Protection Act of 2023, was introduced to the State House last week by Representative Rob Harris of Spartanburg County. The bill was pre-filed back in December and is still sitting in the Judiciary Committee. Representative Harris says he moved to replace the Human Life Protection Act with the South Carolina Prenatal Equal Protection Act of 2023.
What I did the other day is I took the opportunity while the rest of the House was dealing with H 3774, a Human Life Protection Act, a different bill. I put the first amendment on that bill when we were processing it on the floor, and I tried to amend it to basically strike the whole thing and replace it with my bill.
The bill aims to amend the South Carolina Code of Laws by adding sections that would define a person to include an unborn child at any stage of development, and to ensure that an unborn child who is a victim of homicide is afforded equal protection under the state's homicide laws. Vicki Ringer, Director of Public Affairs of Planned Parenthood South Atlantic, reacted to this amendment.
That's a hard pill to swallow for anybody, to recognize that you are not valuable. And to call this equal protection, it is far from equal. It is giving greater weight to a fertilized egg or an embryo or a fetus than it is to a human being. You can consider a fetus to be a person, but you can't consider it to have more weight than the living person who already is a life fully lived on this planet.
The bill would also ensure that an unborn child who is a victim of assault be afforded equal protection under the assault laws of the state. Representative Harris says the goal of the bill is to protect all life, thus enacting the idea that an abortion would warrant the same punishment as murder.
I mean, we have due process laws. I mean, as long as they're followed. I mean, I'm not inventing any new processes. The Constitution of both states require due process and equal protection. So if you're accused of stealing a candy bar, you're accused of murdering somebody, it would go through the same process.
Representative Harris said a woman can testify and there would be an exception if the abortion was due to pressure or the decision of someone else.